I could rewind it. Only us. Oh, I left you when we were blinded. Now time is up. And we tried so hard to fight it, but we knew we couldn't fight it. Hurts every time you say you'll be mine. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get right out this mess and get on out of here. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna take all that is left and get right out of here.
Good morning guys. Today I thought I would do a day in the life vlog to share just a rest day at home. I always think these days are going to be so boring to vlog, so I just never do, but I was like, I feel like some people would like to see a rest day. So honestly at the moment I have exams really soon, so it's kind of just like me studying and like, yeah. I wanted to share today to share some like positivity about fueling yourself and resting, following up from my recent videos, seeing the sports dietitian and stuff like that. I wanted to just talk a little bit about how I've been going, I guess, over the last few days since that. And yeah, so one of the things that I did mention was the sports dietitian said to stop my gym work. So right now I'm just doing my track sessions. So I do like 4 to 5 track sessions a week, and now I'm not doing any gym stuff, so I have a few more rest days. And honestly I wasn't really freaked out by resting more and stopping gym sessions, which in the past I 1000% was. I'd feel so guilty if I wasn't training twice a day, and now I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, you get nothing out of that. And honestly, just having someone tell me you need to rest, like, for your health and your sport, it's just what I needed to make me actually just rest. But I didn't feel worried about that, because even though I do enjoy going to the gym, right now it's not been the greatest for me. I've been feeling quite dead often at the gym and just like not improving at all. Like, moving weights is really difficult and my strength is not there, and it's not getting better for the, you know, for my consistency with going to the gym. Then the days after the gym at training, I'll feel so flat, and honestly I'm just excited to focus on my track sessions and my running and rest on the other days, and literally just focus on fueling myself and having good track sessions. And one of the things that is making me just continue to eat more and just forget about feeling bad about it is that this is for me to run well and to be healthy. So if I ever feel bad, I'm like, well, think about how good you'll feel next week when you actually run well at training, and in a few months when you run faster in a comp. So I'm just trying to remember why I'm doing this and why it's important for me, and I'm just constantly reminding myself that. But in terms of rest days, I'm trying to make the most of enjoying them, you know, letting my body recover from training and reminding myself how good I'm going to feel tomorrow at training, because I've rested, instead of if I force myself to do extra when I'm tired and then out training just feeling shit. So yeah, like the last few training sessions over the weekend, I felt pretty good. Like yesterday on the hill, I felt pretty good, and Friday I hurdled. I was super rusty getting back into hurdles after like almost a year, maybe even longer. I freaking love hurdles so much, so even though I was really rusty, it felt really good to get back over them, and I know I'll just feel better and better as I get more energy and, you know, get healthier for me. So yeah, I just wanted to share some positivity about that.
Yeah, he sets my body in motion. He knows how to turn things up, and he knows what gets me going. Yeah, like a little text saying, hey.
And now we zoom and study.
Hey, look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us, thinking we are too much.
You put everything into the equation and get the predicted VO2 using the power output and heart rate. Yeah. True, like how he has on all the graphs a little line. Alright, so if we did 10.8 times... I'm gonna have a bit of a study break and go on like a nice walk and listen to a good podcast and just be out in like nature for a while.
I've been running round in circles, chasing my tail and lost my way, seeking shelter in different corners, never finding a place to stay. Somehow ended up here on the ground.
I love getting out into nature. It does really make me feel a lot more calm and grounded. As cringy as it sounds, I feel really at home in the Australian bush. I just love it, and it really makes you feel, you know, more grounded with life and all those things that you might be stressing about. None of it really matters when you're just out in nature. I've also been enjoying trying out different podcasts lately, and I've said before, but the content that you consume through social media or listen to really does influence you. So I'm going to pop a few podcasts that I really enjoyed on the screen now. Everything that you consume and listen to and see and surround yourself with really does influence you and impact you, even subconsciously. So it's just really good to always be consuming content that's positive, you know, listening to podcasts that inspire you. And I do really believe in manifestation, so just putting out into the universe positive energy and what you want to achieve and your goals. And I recently listened to a podcast, and the whole time I was just thinking I need to walk home and write down the goals that I have to manifest that.
Judging from here, you're all alone. Do you ever dream of a happy home? I'm wishing that everyone finds their place. I'm wishing the sun more grace. One more night.
Later. One eternity later.
So for lunch I'm having this really good roll with hummus, falafel and salad. It's a grainy wholemeal seeds and grains sourdough roll, so it's super yum. And I wanted to touch on this a little bit because when I saw the dietitian, something we talked about was how healthy a good bread is for you, and comparing myself to other people, and I know this is something we all have done growing up with social media, but comparing ourselves to like influencers or people we see on social media, there's no place for that, because every single individual will has a different energy needs and just has different needs. So for example, if I'm watching another influencer or a big influencer doing a what I eat in a day, what they eat could be a huge calorie deficit for me because I have a greater needs, and maybe it is for them too. And it's just not healthy to be comparing yourself like that. Like if you're able to watch something like that objectively just for interest and take it with a grain of salt, then that's completely different. But it is hard if you know, compare yourself too much like that. And another thing was for me comparing myself to people who like fear bread or like are paleo or don't eat bread. And obviously like white bread, and there's breads that aren't good for you, but there are breads that are good for you, that are high in protein, high in fiber, and are fortified with added vitamins, minerals and nutrients. Like yeah, this is what I'm having for lunch. I'm gonna have my lunch now and then just get back into doing some productive stuff, and I will check in with you guys later.
One more night, one more day to go.
Can I tell you something interesting that I just learned about iron, well, that I'm studying? Iron requirements for men, for adults, are 8, and for females it's 18 milligrams a day. So females need so much more iron than men. Sources of iron, this is interesting. There's only in, for example, beef, 2.7 milligrams for 100 grams of beef. And if you need 18 milligrams a day, that's not much at all. Different cereals have like up to 10 milligrams per serve. compared to 2 milligrams in beef. Like nuts have like the same amount as in beef, but the only thing is it's not all heme. The non-heme sources of iron aren't all absorbed because it has a low bioavailability. So even though muesli has like 4 times the amount of iron that is in beef, less is absorbed than the amount that is absorbed in beef. But there are ways you can enhance iron absorption by combining it with different foods. And I talked to you about this before. So enhancers of iron absorption are things like vitamin C, fermented foods or foods with a low pH, vitamin A, but then things that are prohibitors include calcium. So if you have cereal that has 10 milligrams of iron, but you have it with calcium, that kind of inhibits the absorption of it. But you're not going to have cereal without having calcium, because if you have plant milk that's fortified with calcium, or dairy milk, that's calcium. So unless you have, you're meant to have cereal with water or something.
When do we get eating iron?
You know how your hormones change depending on the phase of ovulation? When you're on the pill, your hormones just stay the same the whole time. Like, your estrogen doesn't go up, it just stays the same. And same as your progesterone and luteinizing hormone. In the follicular phase, you have higher perceived energy levels. So it enables you to work out harder, which is the phase before ovulation. Then in ovulation, it favors strength training. So when you're ovulating, you're actually stronger. That's another reason that's important to have a period, because you train better at different phases.
One more flight, one more sunset and dawn.
I currently have my hair in a side ponytail because my agent asked me to send a picture with my hair in a side ponytail from behind for some potential job, which is really random, and I'm feeling that primary school vibe right now. I'm going to spend some time doing all of my rehab exercises. So since I'm taking a little bit of time off gym and just focusing on my track sessions, I want to make sure I'm doing all of my like rehab and recovery and staying on top of all of that. Honestly, I'm really just looking forward to focusing on just like my track stuff again, just like in school when I was competing at nationals. I wasn't doing much gym stuff and extra stuff yet. All I was doing was focusing on my like 4 or 5 running sessions. I think it's going to really help me just focusing on running and resting. And honestly, I'm just really excited to like really put everything into every track session and to turn up energized and not flat and not lethargic, just full of energy, ready to run hard. I'm very ready for this. And I'm just trying to, whenever I'm like not having a great day in terms of like resting, I'm just trying to remind myself that that's what I'm trying to focus on right now. So like glute activation and like glute med strengthening stuff, and my glutes are on fire. I'm gonna go for a walk with my mum now, just have a little bit of a catch up. I'm just gonna have a bit of a chill wind down before we have dinner and like clean out my room and have a Epsom salt bath, because I've been so sore. I don't even know why, it's so random because it's not like my training was changed or anything, but after my hurdle session on Friday, so on Fridays I do hurdles and speed, and after Friday, oh my gosh, on the whole weekend I was in so much pain. I had the worst DOMs, and like I don't even know why, like everything hurt, but also my upper body, and all I did was like at the end we had some circuits and I did 50 push-ups. That's it. And my arms and like mate were dead for like 2 days. I'm feeling like kind of fine now, but I just want to have like a Epsom salt bath just to like give my body some loving, you know. So yeah.
Close all the curtains. Stay answer the question. Is God on your side? We'll be together. We're the rebel tide. We are the monster. There's no place to hide.
I've decided to stop studying for the day because I just don't care anymore. I'm over it. And I'm opening some stuff that I bought, oops, online. These arrived today. Okay, I bought, I love the scent of this side. This stuff is crack. Oh my gosh. I bought myself a Body Shop strawberry shower gel because this stuff smells insane. The only reason I got that was because I was already paying for shipping. I was like, may as well get some more stuff. So I also bought my dad a Christmas present. I got him a book and a t-shirt. And what I was buying for myself was another box of these Body Science protein bars, the banana bread flavour, because I love them. 2 boxes, because it was half price, of this apple cider vinegar, like, cleanse shots. I am not someone who's like a cleanse person, but the only reason I got these was because these came in my last Goodness Me box and they tasted amazing, and also my digestion was like on point after, so I was like, I'm gonna get myself a box, and I got 2 because it was half price. I'm a little bit tired. My brain's just kind of like over it. So I wanted to have a little bit of a heart to heart with you guys about comparison, and I just realized, you know what, comparison, it's just what's the word I used? I'm gonna find it. I used a specific word that I really liked to describe how I feel about comparing. A disaster, that's the word I used. Comparison, a recipe. Comparison is a recipe for disaster. Okay, so I know I've talked about this a lot, and I have grown up in the age of social media too. Like, I got Facebook in primary school, I got Instagram in like when I was 12. Like, I've grown up on social media, like we all have, probably everyone watching this, and if you haven't, you've probably had it for like a solid decade, and it doesn't even matter if you've grown up on it or not, you are a part of it. And obviously mental health illnesses have risen ridiculously since the age of social media, and I do think a huge reason for that is comparison. We're always comparing ourselves to other people, the best bits of other people's lives, and honestly, like, as hard as it is, like, easier said than done, but one of the things I'm just trying to like live by is not comparing myself to anybody else. What is this hair? My hair's a mess. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna leave it. It's so gross. I needed to wash it today, but CBF. Anyway, for me, a big thing that was like a big comparison thing was, you know, other YouTubers I started watching who didn't eat carbohydrates, for example. I use this example way too much. So teenage Immy would limit carbohydrates, even though teenage Immy needed them and was running at nationals pretty fast, and that helped me do that. Just, I know it's so much easier said than done. If I'm like, stop comparing yourself, just like, don't compare yourself, but like, seriously, like, don't. Like, someone commented on one of my pictures today, like, oh, how many grams of oats do you have? And I was like, honestly, I don't know, because I don't weigh it. And for me, that's been a huge mental thing, because I used to like not be able to like put food in my mouth if I hadn't weighed it out to a gram, and I knew exactly how many calories that was. And not doing that was the most, it's so freeing and so important. So I don't know, but even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you, because it's not relevant to you, because everybody is so freaking different and unique. So it doesn't serve you any purpose to know that. You just can't compare yourself to anyone, and that's just something I'm trying to remind myself. So yeah, like, in terms of anything, like, just because something is right for somebody else, it's not going to be right for you, because you're a unique, completely different person. I really need a podcast, because I just want to like sit and talk all the time. I have like so many things I want to talk about. Love that for me. I literally have like a list of like topics I want to just like do episodes on, so Anyway, what is the time? It's almost 9. I'm gonna give my room like a solid clean right now, and then I'm gonna wind down and watch a TV show. And it's kind of nice to like wind down by like watching an episode at night. So I started watching Offspring, which was so random because I remember when I was in primary school, my mum watching Offspring, and it's kind of like a fat vibe. So I'm gonna go watch some Offspring. Kind of comfy right now, hey. Okay, I'll put on a song and clean to that song. Fun fact, so this is like what I do for music. On my Spotify, I don't have like albums, is it called playlists? I don't have playlists that I listen to. All I do is have a huge, I call this my playlist, a huge playlist of just my liked songs. So I just like songs when I want to have them on a playlist, and then I just shuffle my liked songs, and there's 1,036 different songs. I'm just gonna shuffle and see what we get. Yeah, I kind of vibing this to clean to right now, but I also just want to shuffle a few more times just to like give you guys a gist of like how versatile this playlist is. Such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. This Delta Go drum lamento. ABBA. Yeah, we're cleaning to this one. Where did this energy come from? I'm so confused. So the lighting in here is horrendous, but I thought I would just end this vlog here. I'm just having my tea and I'm having a piece of my mum's pineapple, banana bread, carrot bread thing. It's like a kind of banana bread, but there's really not much banana in it, and there's like no other type of sweetener in it besides besides banana and pineapple. So it's really not too sweet and I freaking love it. I wanted to give a little shout out to my @WholeFoodCram Instagram where the recipe for this is on it, and please go and try it. But also add 1 grated carrot to that recipe because my mum didn't the first time she made it, but she did now. And it's so good. And while you're at it, give my normal Instagram a follow as well. It's @Imogen.Russell. Yes, I'm just giving myself a shout out because, okay, this lighting is just disgusting and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just gonna roll with it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. Turn on the notification bell as well so you don't miss any videos, and I hope to see you in the next video.
Staying up till 3 in the morning, thinking about you.